Righto, webinar number 4, guys. Super stoked to be bringing this to you today. Very pleased to announce that we've got the wonderful Chris Omeissah. I hope I've got that pronunciation right, mate.
Right, yep.
And Brooke, who I believe is 9 months pregnant and still getting on the grind of getting it done.
Not stopping until I pop.
That's it, mate. That's it. Well, that's what we kind of need. Well, look, it's been a crazy, last month and a half or so since the virus hit, but I think one of the key things that we've had in terms of response from the audience has been really around how can I transition my sales process to meet the needs of the way that consumers want to interact now. And I think Chris and Brooke are two of the very best in the space, and excited to have them share kind of some of their perspectives. So thank you guys so much for coming along.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you.
Cool. All right. Well, let's get straight into it. So look, today we're going to kind of cover how has buyer behavior changed over the past week on urban. Things are really improving. Certainly from what we're hearing from the government in terms of the cases that are around, and also we're seeing the reflection in the traffic. But I still think that the virtual experience is going to have a bigger role to play as far as the customer journey is concerned moving forward as we kind of come out of this. So we're going to discuss that. We're going to look at the virtual, some experience of examples of virtual experiences for both TrueSite and Lucid View. Then we're going to look at how can we get an ROI from this kind of activity? How much does it cost to get an MVP going? And then what's the future hold? And I'm pretty excited to hear the views. We had a pre-call earlier today, and there's some pretty interesting things that the guys shared. So let's get into it. So we saw here, the audience is coming back with a vengeance. April more or less ended up the same as March, but certainly in the back half of April, we started to see a market improvement. And, certainly May has come off to a flyer. We're forecasting, we're 7 days in, so modeling that out. We're expecting to see 20% growth. So more or less back to, where we were towards the end of the year. So all signs are pointing to, the fact that the buyers are back. One of the key shifts that we've seen is that each user that comes to urban is viewing more projects. And I've mentioned this in previous webinars, but we've seen that, that trend has kind of has continued on, where a user was, instead of visiting, say, 3 or 4 projects, they're visiting half a dozen. And that's resulting, as we've had an increase in buyers coming back, we've seen that kind of behavior has remained, and that's resulting in, we're on track for a record month as far as project views are concerned. So as you can see, really it's the last 3 weeks that we've seen the recovery, and it seems to be pretty consistent. So we're hoping that's going to hold tight. Really, inquiry volumes, which is one of those key metrics. Users are viewing more projects per session, but really they're making the same amount of inquiries. And so what we're seeing is that that's now more or less in line with where we were at pre-COVID. Certainly it's back from, it's looking pretty disastrous for a while there at the beginning of April, but certainly the audience is back and people are making inquiries. So we're really interested to hear the feedback, and we'll have a webinar in the coming weeks as well, back with the sales agents to hear how those leads converting into sales, and and how is that kind of playing out.